Hi, I'm Mark LaRochelle, President of Productive Computing. I'd like to introduce to you a new service called QuickBooks Desktop Hosting in the Cloud. Stay tuned. So FileMaker and QuickBooks Hosting. This is actually video 1 of a 3-part video series we plan to do. In this video, part 1, we're going to talk about what it is we've created and why we created it. In video part 2, that video will talk about how the process works, and there'll be a demo provided. And then in part 3, several weeks later, we'll talk about use cases and customer stories. So what is this exactly? What is QuickBooks Hosting? So first, we want to understand that this involves QuickBooks Desktop Hosting. This is not QuickBooks for the online version. This is QuickBooks Desktop, and that's the version that you would normally see on your individual machine for, let's say, a bookkeeper or an owner in a small company, or for a larger company, there'll be a multi-user QuickBooks installation where you might have the file on a file server somewhere, but still within your own infrastructure and not in a hosted situation. So what we've created is the ability to move the on-site QuickBooks files to the cloud. And in a sense, users have their own desktop. So when they connect to the cloud, they're still accessing the QuickBooks files they know and love. They're just doing it in the cloud and from anywhere. So let's talk about this a little bit more. Why did we create this offering? The request came mostly from customers. Customers that were already hosting their FileMaker files had the same desire to do the same thing with QuickBooks. Other customers have their entire infrastructure within the cloud, and QuickBooks was the last remaining holdout that's still being hosted on their file server within their infrastructure. The other distinct advantage of QuickBooks in the cloud is that you get to run your QuickBooks application side by side with your cloud-hosted FileMaker application. This is the 1-2 punch that people are looking for, especially when they talk about integrating the two programs using a plugin such as our FMBooks Connector desktop plugin. So with this offering, the user gives up nothing. They have the same experience that they are accustomed to when they are working with QuickBooks in the office, but now they have the added advantage of having that hosted where it becomes available anywhere, from any device, including mobile devices, iPad, iPhone, Windows Desktop, Mac Desktop. It really doesn't matter because it's a remote service offered by AWS. We're using state-of-the-art connectivity, which gives you maximum flexibility on where you can access the files from. Now, the added benefit is if you host your FileMaker files with Productive Computing, you'll be able to get a super high-speed connection between your FileMaker database in the cloud and your QuickBooks files in the cloud. So integration becomes seamless. And in many cases, the connection between QuickBooks and FileMaker is actually faster within that infrastructure than it is in your own office. So this is something that we're really excited to be able to bring to the marketplace. And by removing your on-site QuickBooks infrastructure, you now can get rid of the IT expenses, the additional servers you have to buy, the worry about backups, and whether you have redundancy or durability with your QuickBooks infrastructure, how secure is your server in your own infrastructure, how many people have access to the actual QuickBooks files. All of these problems go away when you consider professional hosting from Productive Computing. The tools and services we use to provide this solution are best in class. We're running everything on AWS using state-of-the-art technology with the best of breed certified software available. We're also AWS certified here, so you can rest assured that you're in the hands of experts. In addition, the entire service has been vetted and approved by Intuit. In order to qualify to provide such a service, you need to go through a rigorous application process and certification process where Intuit checks every aspect of what we're doing. Those strict Intuit standards are there to ensure that we treat our customers properly by way of having the best infrastructure for security and privacy available. We will set your QuickBooks file to automatically back up at night. The service is extremely secure using state-of-the-art encryption technologies and protection methods. We're very flexible on the QuickBooks licensing. You can bring your own licensing and provide us with the registration information, or you can purchase the QuickBooks licensing from us directly at a discount. In most cases, much lower than you can get on your own, because we are Intuit Premier software providers as well. Stay tuned for more. On video 2, coming soon, we'll have a segment on how the software works with a demonstration where you can see firsthand what it would look like if you signed up for the service. And then part 3, we will provide use cases and perhaps some customer stories about people who are already using the service to find out how they've benefited. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more content like this, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our Facebook page, or following us on Twitter and LinkedIn. We also have a monthly newsletter describing the latest happenings here from productive computing, as well as other industry-related news. Thanks for watching.